is our circle planning guide. I have that already pulled up here. And so what this is it can help you to make sure you have each of your structures in place for a quality circle experience for your students and really focusing on that community. So the first part here is making sure you've thought about your purpose of your circle. You always want them to be intentional and with a purpose. And typically your circles are going to be connected to your SEL instruction for that week. So think about your why. Think about how, if you haven't already, of your routine or procedure or transitioning into your circle. So how do students transition to that space? Even in this unique learning environment, it is important for us to maintain our circles the best that we can. Maybe instead of sitting, you might have your students standing around the perimeter of your room. That way they are all still able to give each other eye contact. Maybe there's simultaneous circles, so there's two smaller ones going on. Maybe they're student-led that way. But it does make a difference that we are in some form of a circle shape, if you will, for our community. Making sure that you have your opening. How are you starting your circle? Is there a quote? Is there an opening statement? How do you set that tone for your circle? Making sure every single time that you are engaging in your circle that you share the review of your circle values, agreements, norms, expectations, whatever you call them for your class. You want to review them every time because that is creating that safe space for students to share. Sometimes we have different talking pieces and different center pieces. So making sure that you introduce that, whatever that may be each time. And as a reminder, the centerpiece does have a purpose. That's a part of the circle that brings and pulls the focus to that center as a community. It's also a trauma-informed practice so that if students are sharing, they can choose if they want to look at the centerpiece or look at each other, but it's creating that safe space. You can choose if you want to do a quick check-in question. This might be helpful to know where students are at and, whether it's on a scale of 1 to 10, how they're feeling. Maybe you're asking them what zone they're in, but that way if later on during the day you want to check in with particular students based off of their quick check-in. But then really getting into that circle question, that purposeful one that's connected to your class, that's connected to your social and emotional learning for that week. Or maybe it is for the community building because those are also opportunities as well. But we want to make sure that we have that purpose explicitly stated and known to us as teachers and facilitators for our circles. After the circle, doing your checkout. Maybe it's just a final question. Maybe it's, closing that circle and asking them or showing with their thumbs just kind of where everybody's at, having that closing message. Maybe there's, again, just that final statement of that why that you want students to walk away with, or after they're done sharing, just kind of tying in different ideas that they did share and thanking them. And then at the end of that circle, during that transition, maybe taking some time to jot down some notes for you as a teacher. This is great to get information for relationship building with students, to see where they're at, noticing any gaps or skills that might be next teaching moves for SEL for that week or a following week. So really being strategic and purposeful with our circles is super important. A couple different reminders. I'm going to jump back here. A couple different reminders is when students are sharing, we want to make sure that we as teachers and facilitators of the circle are also maintaining our agreements. So we aren't responding back verbally to students who are sharing. We're just keeping that space. And when we have the talking piece back, we can then elaborate or share. But we want to really maintain the circle space. You might want to be adding in those common nonverbal movements. If students are wanting to agree with somebody's share, maybe you can come up with a class movement that students can do, or you can do as well when you resonate with what a student has shared. So there's these different layers. If you want to explore or want to learn a little bit deeper or want me to come and model, or if you're not sure about your space with the different environment and you just want some ideas for creating that community even more, feel free to reach out either through the coaching form or send me an email. And I hope this is helpful, and I look forward to our next tip of the week. Take care.